Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President and COO Sotheby's International Realty, Philip White.
I'm going to bring up my panel. I've got 5 really industry leaders that have volunteered to be here, and they each have a different topic they're going to discuss. It's an international panel for the most part. They're going to talk about really developing a value proposition, how you compete with your competition in your local market. They're going to talk about technology. They're going to talk about how to use technology to increase your productivity and make more money. Those types of themes are what they're going to talk about, as well as the attitude and what really makes them successful. These are all very successful people. So I'll bring them up right now. Is Beth Butler. Beth is the president. She's the president and chief operating officer of One Sotheby's International Realty, which is our host affiliate company here in Miami. Beth has been there for about 2 years. Beth told me last night that sales have quadrupled since she got there. Their average sales price here is $1.2 million. They've just done 2 transactions for over $20 million each, 2 more in the pipeline, and they're involved in almost every luxury transaction in the market at this time. And that company has grown from about 24 people when they joined us just several years ago. So this has been very significant growth in just really 3 or 4 years. So. Beth is an expert on technology and how to use that to increase the productivity of her agents, and I'll let her take it from there.
Thank you, Philip, and welcome everybody on behalf of Daniel, and all of the associates here from One Sotheby's. We're glad you're here. We hope that you enjoy our city, and we'll call out to the people in the booth or any of our agents that you happen to meet. If you need help getting around, want to take a tour, please meet and get to know our city. We're glad you're here. I have a passion for technology, specifically real estate technology, for many reasons. I guess first and foremost, that makes me a bit of a geek, which I'm old enough to admit now and own up to. But I can certainly understand, as I asked people yesterday about technology tools that they use and got some glazed over looks, that there's certainly a fear of technology, especially in the real estate ranks. And as I stand here and look at jumbotrons and teleprompters and counters and lights, I totally get the fear of technology thing. So without further ado, what I'm hoping to share today is probably 10 tips, some software, some hardware, some applications, just things that I think today are a minimum proficiency level for our business. I don't think that we can shy away or hide behind not knowing about technology anymore. It's 2011, and we really need to have at least a little bit of technological savvy in this business. It can be a great time saver, it can be a great differentiator, and it can be a great motivator. So I've broken down my top 10 tips into a couple of different areas and trends. I'm going to start with mobile. I think for everybody here, as they walk around through the halls and almost run into each other while they're desperately looking at their smartphones, we all know that mobile is big. By 2012, 50% of all searches, not just real estate, it's shopping searches, questioning searches, Google searches, 50% of all searches will be performed on a mobile device. So mobile is certainly a trend that everybody needs to pay attention to. I'll start by saying the obvious. If you don't have a smartphone, you need one. It's not cute to have a flip phone anymore. Even if you don't know how to use a smartphone, you need to have one and display it, because it can make you look like you know technology, whether you do or you're not. I have one agent that says, my iPhone makes me look smart, and it's true. It does make you look smart. So until you learn it, at least have one, carry it around with you, and it makes you look like you at least have a technology level that people expect in our business. Second, mobile technology is an iPad. I have it here. It's certainly the pad and paper of this decade, and it's so much more than that. With each passing month, more and more applications come forth, especially for our business, that make this such a productivity and time saver that I can't imagine that by this time next year, everybody in this room wouldn't have one and be using it as their primary computing device. A laptop has now becomes the desktop. If you ask a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old, they don't even know what a desktop computer is. It's their laptop, and then what they use, like we have always used a laptop, is an iPad or a tablet device, so it's time. And again, we've got that terrific iPad listing presentation. The brand has developed great tools for us to use, so no one better than a Sotheby's agent in the market should be introducing iPad technology to your clients. Second trend I'd like to talk to is cloud computing. It's a significant technology trend, which I think goes along with mobile and allows you essentially to have whatever you need wherever you need it. So today I can be sitting here and I can have access to every document I need to be able to send off to a client or a potential prospect, and I can have everything I need wherever I need it. No longer do you have to race home or race back to the office to get a document or a piece of paper or something that you need that can only be in one place. This going to the cloud and moving your documentation and your applications to cloud computing will allow you to be much more productive. To that end, I have two suggestions there. The first is Dropbox. What Dropbox is, it allows you to store all of your documents in a cloud computer, which is a computer somewhere. I couldn't even tell you where it is, but all I know is I can access it anytime I want to, and I no longer have to worry about running around to pick up those documents or being at one particular computer or phone or iPad device any longer. I can also share files and documents with other people, and I can do that in 30 seconds no matter where I am, even if it's at a stoplight. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. Second tool I'd like to share in the cloud is Evernote. It's an application. It's also a desktop application that you can put on your computer, in your phone, on your tablet device. And what that allows you to do is it's a fairly sophisticated note-taking device. But the reason I really like it is because I find when we're on the road and we have emails coming in all day long, the pressure to stay on top of everything that comes at you all at once, some things you can do fairly quickly. So when you're walking down the hallway between meetings or you're between clients, you've got 5 minutes, you can get caught up. But there are certain things that come in during the day that might require a little bit more of your attention than the 30 seconds you can provide it in a quick response. For those things, what Evernote allows you to do is forward that email, including attachments, to your Evernote account and allows you to go back later and when you have the time, access those to-dos and give it the proper attention that you need. And you can, again, because it's in the cloud, you can access it from anywhere. You can get it from your phone, from your iPad, from your laptop, from your desktop, wherever you are and whenever you have the time to do it. I think the third important trend, and we talk a lot about it, I've been hearing about the paperless transaction and going paperless for years. But I do think that as technology evolves little by little and real estate agents start to be willing to at least part themselves a little bit from their file cabinets and paper files, that going paperless is certainly a great way to improve your technology. With that in mind, I have a device that's on my desktop and I have one at home that's made my going paperless very easy. I'd like to recommend it's a ScanSnap scanner, which is a high-speed desktop scanner, relatively inexpensive, but you can scan a file in about 30 seconds and make a fairly lightweight PDF that you can store in your Dropbox cloud storage. It's a great way to make your fast work of filing. And I think it's an essential tool to working towards going paperless. A lot of people suggested e-fax. Maybe I have the occasion to receive a fax or send a fax once a month these days, but I can certainly remember when I was willing to pay $50 a transaction to have access to a fax to be able to send a contract. It wasn't that long ago. So I think it's important to include e-fax as an important part of a paperless solution. Again, we're in the car, we're on the road. We need to be able to receive whatever documentation people want to send us in whatever format they're going to send it in. And many people still use faxes. As frustrating as that can be, an e-fax account will make that lighten your load just a little bit. And last in this paperless is any kind of digital signature device. I think DocuSign makes an excellent product now that's become very affordable. It's a great way to do electronic signatures back and forth. If you have an iPad, applications like PDF Expert make getting a contract signed and sent off a 30-second task. No longer do you have to take something, print it, sign it, scan it, and email it back out. If you have DocuSign or an iPad with any one of the PDF solutions that are out there, I prefer PDF Expert. It's a very easy way to fill out a contract, send a contract, get it signed, and it's just as if you had the paper in front of you. Last but certainly not least, I think that there are huge productivity gains can be had by utilizing marketing technology. I want to start by saying I think email prospecting, especially if it's a well thought out and nicely created campaign, still has a lot of value, not only in its productivity, but also in the way your clients and the people that receive it feel about you. I'll add the caveat is people don't want to be dripped on. They don't want to be e-blasted. They don't want to know 5 times a day that you just reduced a listing. But when you can create a worthwhile and elegant email solution, you'll be surprised at how responsive your clientele will be. And once it's set up, it's a very productive solution. I'll plug one of the vendors that are in the back. Resora is here. They have a wonderful and very well-designed email solution that if you haven't looked at, you should, that speaks well to this. Social media. And I see people's face wince all the time. They say they don't tweet. They say they don't do Facebook. And although I understand it, it's here to stay. And all of our protestations aside, I don't think we can say that we don't do some sort of social media anymore. It's a luxury we can't afford. We have to be engaged. I see Matthew Ferrara here. We have many local experts within the brand, people that basically now do 100% of their marketing and prospecting through social media. Facebook advertising, just in and of itself, is one of the most powerful and efficient marketing tools that we've yet to really figure out, but it's going to be a big topic over the next few years just because it's so incredibly targeted and specific that for a budget of $50 a month, you can reach every person that you want to reach with a very well-drafted and conceived message all over the world. It's a fantastic opportunity. But if you're not in some sort of social media, I would encourage you that the time is now. You've got to figure out what to do and adopt some sort of social media platform. Last and not least, certainly not least, I think that every top producer has some sort of transaction management platform, whether that's Top Producer, whether that's Pulse, whether that's something that you've crafted in and of yourself. Once you become busy, I think the only way you can stay on top of your business in a productive way is to have some sort of transaction management platform that isn't a folder and file system in your desk drawer that allows you to stay on top of showings, who's seeing what, the feedback, utilizing the power of technology to not only make you more productive, but give the feedback to the buyers and sellers that they so much deserve and look at you to provide to them. I hope you got something today, and I'm going to close just with a thought on technology. A lot of people I've talked to avoid technology because they're waiting for something to be perfected. I read something recently written by the global marketing director for BMW, and she describes this concept of life in beta. And I think with technology, that's probably something we all need to grasp. We used to go and launch campaigns and wait till everything was perfect, create a launch date, and have a big launch. the pace that technology has set today makes that almost impossible. So we are perpetually in a soft launch mode and rolling from one soft launch event to another. You get something new, you get the brand new iPhone, and the minute you plug it in, there's already a software update. And you think, in the 2 days, it shipped from China? Really? But it's true. There's nothing about technology that is ever perfect. So if you're waiting for that perfect solution to jump in, it's just going to pass you by. So get with the Life is Beta train and jump in, try it. I think you'll enjoy it, and you're certainly going to look better in front of your prospects and clients. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Beth. So Beth, you don't think they're going to be bringing back the MLS books? Okay. All right, that's great. Thank you for that, Beth. On the iPad. Okay.